In April of 1987, Nihon Busan released the hilariously titled Booby Kids. Well, okay, that was the Famicom console version's name. In the arcade, it was known as Kid no Hore Hore Daisuke Sakusen. What we have here is an old school, feel-good type of game. Very simple, yet tricky and highly addictive. The basic plot of the game is to go around each map collecting the treasure. Once all the treasure chests are collected, a key will appear to allow you to move on to the next area. It's not that simple though, as each area is swarming with all sorts of enemies, from aliens to police and mobsters. Yep, this really is a wacky game. To dispose of the enemies, your default attack is to dig a hole for them to drop into. Once an enemy drops in, you can either leave them there or bury them alive. Burying them alive obviously kills the enemy, plus gives you bonus points. If you just leave them or partly bury them, they'll eventually climb out of the hole. Digging is not your only attack, oh no. Throughout each stage there's a load of power-ups ranging from a yo-yo attack, roller boots to walk faster, a flamethrower that takes out multiple enemies, and even an ice gun, which will allow you to freeze an enemy then push them into another. So yeah, as you can see, this is one crazy but addictive game. The bright colourful graphics and jolly audio only add to the addictiveness. If you've never played this one, I strongly urge you to give it a try. The first port came to the Famicom on the 10th of July 1987, and it sucks ass big time. They've gonna completely change the game. Sure, the core idea is still the same, but now the worlds are terribly designed. The snappy controls of the arcade game have been replaced with horrid grid-like controls which are sluggish. The aiming to dig holes isn't easy to judge, and worst of all, you have to complete an entire stage without even being touched. That's easier said than done due to the bullshit collision detection. Keep away from this trash. Next up is the PC Engine version, which was actually released in the US as Crater Maze, and in Japan as a Doraemon game, called Doraemon Meikyu Daisakusen. The Japanese version was released on October 31st, 1989, while the US version was released sometime in 1990. If you're a fan of Doraemon, you'll notice that in this US version, all they've done is change the main character from Doraemon into the arcade character. All other characters are still those from the Doraemon animation. Talk about half-assed. Anyway, the game starts off with two difficulty options, normal or easy. Playing on normal is super easy. Each stage only has 2 enemies, and to be honest, it's a yawn fest. So head on over to the difficult option for closer to arcade fun. While the difficult option isn't as hectic as the arcade, it still offers a great deal of fun and does a great job at bringing the arcade feel to the home. In fact, I'd say this is a little better than the arcade game, as digging is now simpler. One press to make a hole and another to fill it in. The arcade game took 2 presses each time. Boy next with a port from Nihon Busan, which hit the Japanese stores on June 25th, 1993. Because this is on the Game Boy, the game must be called Booby Boys rather than Booby Kids. Thankfully, this is an enhanced port of the arcade game, not the god-awful Famicom game. Unlike the arcade and PC Engine, you now get to choose your starting world, each of which contain a bunch of areas to complete. The gameplay is much like the arcade version when it comes to the digging controls, needing 2 presses to make a hole, but thankfully only 1 to cover an enemy. It also seems the enemies don't respawn once killed in this version, or at least that's how it seems to be. I'm also glad that this port keeps the jolly tunes from the arcade and PC Engine games. It makes this one a joy to play while out and about. Let's take a look at all those versions of Booby Kids running side by side.